Lūṭ came into existence within a family blessed with a lineage of prophets. During his childhood, Lūṭ had witnessed the evils of paganism and the deterioration of his grandfather's legacy as he watched his fellow citizens prostrate before their king and before idols of their own fashioning. One day, a cousin of his, who no one seemed to know had ever existed, appeared after having been tucked away in a cave outside of the city all his life. His name was Ibrahim. When Ibrahim began challenging the priests and the idols, Lūṭ felt a strong connection to his cousin's message and supported him. Over the years, Lūṭ remained Ibrahim's greatest supporter and helper. He traveled with him to surrounding lands to spread the message of God's unity. He helped him plan the destruction of the idols on the festival day. He offered his blessings when his sister, Sarah, was married to Ibrahim, and when Ibrahim was finally banished from the city, Lūṭ was the first to declare to immigrate with him. God had also appointed Lūṭ as a prophet. Lūṭ settled with Ibrahim, Sarah, Hajar, and some of their followers in Hebron. When they were settled, Ibrahim and Lūṭ turned to preaching and calling people to God. One day, Ibrahim received news of trouble in the northern city of Sodom. People started to complain to him about their extreme immorality. In response, he chose to send Lūṭ as his deputy to go there. Lūṭ's mission was to warn the people and lead them back to the straight path. Ibrahim's final instructions to Lūṭ were, go to Sodom and its neighboring cities, call its people to worship God, warn them of God's punishment, and remind them of what befell the people who followed Nimrod. For this purpose, God gave Lūṭ wisdom and knowledge and raised him to the rank of a messenger and a warner. Some have said that Sodom was actually a group of 4 cities known separately by the names of Sodom, Sidom, Admah, and Gomorrah. They were a society that, if they caught someone stealing their crops, they would publicly strip the clothes of the thief to shame them. With time and repetition, disgust turned to pleasure and rape. The men began to look at the other men for pleasure, taking turns. With time, their appetites increased, and they began with younger and younger boys as well. The women would do the same to their women. They became excessively focused on pleasure, indulging in physical desires, overeating, and excessive drinking. Their judgment was clouded by their lustful intoxication, and they even began to wear see-through clothes to reveal their skin and body parts. Confronting such wickedness would have been a significant test for any prophet, but for Lūṭ, it presented an even greater challenge. Unlike most prophets, who was sent to their own people, Lūṭ was a stranger. He had no connections or supporters among the people he was sent to guide. Despite these odds, he was unshakable in his determination to fulfill his duty to God. He was immediately shocked when he entered the city. The atmosphere reeked of shameless immodesty. The way people dressed, the way they carried themselves, the way they interacted with one another, the way they looked at each other, all indicated a complete absence of shame or moral decency among them. Suddenly, a group of men noticed him. They could tell he was a foreigner by his clothing, so they became curious. Lūṭ tried to move away, but the gathering had attracted a large crowd, trapping him. Trusting in God, Lūṭ gathered his thoughts and saw that, despite the circumstances, he had a chance to introduce himself to these people. With authority in his voice, he declared, I am Lūṭ, the cousin of the Prophet Ibrahim, who miraculously survived when Nimrod cast him into the fire. He has now settled near you, so fear God. Abandon your current behavior, cease idol worship, or else God will bring destruction upon you. God has chosen me as a prophet and messenger for you. Shouldn't you fear him? I am a trustworthy messenger to guide you. So fear God and obey me. I do not ask for any reward for my duty. My reward is solely with the Lord of the worlds. The people of Sodom were rebellious, but they couldn't ignore the power of Ibrahim. His reputation had spread far and wide. Although they were tempted to mock Lūṭ and drive him out of their city, their fear of Ibrahim kept them from laying a hand on him. Lūṭ settled in Sodom and established his home there. He married, and over the next 30 years, his wife gave birth to 3 amazing daughters. Day and night, Lūṭ tirelessly worked to guide the people of Sodom. He confronted them about their sinful actions, asking, "Are you engaging in such indecent behavior that no one in the world has ever committed before? Do you go to men in lust instead of women? Do you, of all people, go to men in lust and abandon the wives God had made for you? Do you go to men in lust and thereby obstruct the path of procreation? And moreover, do you commit this evil in public gatherings while you watch each other?" They ignored him and said, "If you do not cease talking, you shall be among those who are banished." They sarcastically added, "You and your family are too pure for us." He warned them of God's punishment many times. However, his people would reply, "Bring on God's punishment if your threats are true."